Welcome to SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. Myanmar is deliberately disrupting regional harmony to hinder Rohingya repatriation process, says Acting Foreign Secretary. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reached in New York, USA to attend the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly. A Cox's Bazar court sentences 7 suspended members of the detective branch to 7 years imprisonment. Tensions arose at Tombru and Ghumdum areas at the Naikangchori point in Bandarban along the Bangladesh-Myanmar border, since sounds of firing are still coming from Myanmar. The law enforcement agencies including BGP remain alert, and intelligence surveillance has also been increased near the Bangladesh-Myanmar border. Restrictions were imposed on movements. Still, people are passing the days in extreme tensions. The local administration of Bandarban's Naikangchori Upazila already decided to evacuate the people at risk from the border area of Ghumdum to avoid any untoward situation. Meanwhile, it is reported that gunshots were heard in Cox's Bazar Ukhia border area this morning. Acting Foreign Secretary retired Rear Admiral Mohammad Khorshid Alam said that Myanmar is deliberately disrupting regional harmony to hinder the Rohingya repatriation process. He made the comment during the meeting with diplomats stationed in Dhaka at the State Guest House Podda this morning. The briefing was held by the Foreign Ministry to convey Bangladesh's concern over the situation in border areas with Myanmar. Responding to questions regarding Myanmar blaming Arakan Army or ARSA for mortar shells landing in Bangladesh, Khorshid Alam said that Myanmar side always made the same claims. The diplomats appreciated Bangladesh's position of not stepping into Myanmar's traps by maintaining peace. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reached in New York, USA to attend the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly UNGA. The VVIP chartered flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines carrying the Prime Minister and her entourage landed at JFK International Airport at around 10:30 at night New York time. Bangladesh Ambassador designated in Washington Mohammad Imran and Bangladesh permanent representatives to the UN Mohammad Abdul Mohit received her at the airport. Earlier, she left London for New York after attending the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. During her stay in New York, Sheikh Hasina is scheduled to attend other important events and meet leaders on the sidelines of the UNGA. The court in Cox's Bazar sentenced 7 policemen, all detectives, to 7 years in jail for kidnapping a trader and demanding a ransom of Taka 17 lakh for his release. Cox's Bazar District and Session Court Judge Mohammad Ismail handed down the judgment of the presence of all the suspended policemen. The judge also imposed a fine of Taka 1 lakh on each of the convicts and ordered them to undergo an additional 1 year in prison for non-payment of the fine. The court sentenced the convicted cops to 5 years in jail for kidnapping and another 7 years for extortion by putting a person in fear of death. A Dhaka court set January 23, 2023 for hearing on charge framing against BNP chairperson Khaltazia in 11 cases, including one filed over sedition. Judge Mohammad Asaduzaman of Dhaka Metropolitan Session Judges Court, set up inside Dhaka Central Jail in Keraniganj, adjourned the hearing today and fixed a new date. The adjournment came following separate petitions submitted on different excuses. Among the 11 cases, 10 were filed in the first 3 months of 2015 over arson attacks. The other cases was filed with the Dhaka court on charge of making seditious comments on freedom fighters and martyrs of the Liberation War. Gana Forum withdrew Dr. Kamal Hussain from his position of Chief Advisor and expelled Mohammad Mizanur Rahman from all positions. President of the faction of Gana Forum, Mustafa Mohsin Montu, made the announcement during the press conference at the National Press Club in Dhaka this morning. Mentioning Dr. Kamal's new committee formation, Mustafa Mohsin said that he cannot form any committee overlooking opinion of other councillors. Mentioning that Gana Forum would not compromise with people's expectations, he demanded fair election under an impartial government. Sending out a clear message to hoarders and rumours mongers, Food Minister Sadhan Chandra Mojumdar said that strict legal action would be initiated against anyone trying to create any artificial fertilizer crisis in Bangladesh. He made the comment to reporters after visiting the under-construction rice silo in Nauga. The minister also said that fertilizer supplies in Bangladesh have not declined even by a single ton over that of previous year. Instead, the number of agricultural land has decreased. He said that a panic was being created as a result. Those who need one sack of fertilizers are trying to collect two. Sadhan Chandra said that the government would not spare anyone trying to create an artificial fertilizer crisis in Bangladesh by hoarding or spreading rumors. Bangladesh exported 618 metric tons of Hilsa fish to India through Benapole land port in the last 11 days on the occasion of Durga Puja. 10 more organizations were given permission to export 500 metric tons of Hilsa in 2 phases. A total of 2,950 metric tons of Hilsa fishes will be sent to India this year. The Commerce Ministry permitted a total of 59 organizations to export the fish to India. The export order will remain effective till September 30th. Viewers are taking a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Britain bid farewell to Queen Elizabeth II with a majestic funeral steeped in tradition and a send-off reflective of the broad popularity she managed to retain over her remarkable 7-decade reign. Royal family members and dignitaries gathered at Westminster Abbey for a somber service. Presidents, Prime Minister, princes and princesses and other public figures sat side by side to pay their last respect, a testament to her far-reaching appeal and deft diplomacy. The Queen's coffin was taken past throngs of well-wishers lining the long walk to Windsor Castle for a committal service at burial at St. George's Chapel, where she was separated from the crown for the final time. Later in the evening, she was interred together with her husband at 73 years, the Duke of Edinburgh, in the King George VI Memorial Chapel. Malaysia's Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah said that Southeast Asian nations must decide whether a 5-point plan to end the violence in Myanmar is still relevant. He made the comment after reports emerged that 13 people, including 7 children, were killed, and while 17 others were injured after army helicopters fired at a school in Myanmar. According to reports in the Mizima, the news portal, army helicopters had opened fire on the schoolhouse in the Buddhist monastery in the village. The report said that some children were killed on the spot by the shooting, while others died after troops entered the village. Ukraine accused Russia of nuclear terrorism following a missile attack near an atomic plant as President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed further gains in an eastern counter-offensive, saying invasive Russian troops were clearly in a panic. The Russian missile struck within 300 meters of the reactors at the South Ukraine nuclear power plant near the city in the southern Mykolaiv province on Monday night. Ukrainian nuclear operator Energoatom informed that reactors were operating normally and no employees were injured. The nuclear power station in Ukraine's second largest after the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which has repeatedly come under fire. Residents were ordered to take shelter on the Turks and Caicos Island on Tuesday as an increasingly powerful Hurricane Fiona churned towards the Caribbean archipelago, leaving death and destruction in Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. The strengthening Category 2 storm, predicted to become a Category 3 even by Tuesday afternoon with winds exceeding 111 miles per hour, was on track to pass close to the eastern end of the Turks and Caicos Island on Tuesday evening before heading for the southern Bahamas, having caused a total blackout, killed 3 people and caused catastrophic flooding in Puerto Rico, followed by torrential rain and powerful winds in the Dominican Republic. Fiona gained power as it churned northwards across the warm Caribbean waters on Monday. Now sports news. Scotland lost to Bangladesh by 6 wickets in the second match of the Women's T20 World Cup qualifier in Abu Dhabi on Monday night. Electing to bat first, Scotland suffered a batting collapse as they lost openers Ailsa Lister and Saskia instead the power play. The Scots were bowled out for 77 with Lorna Jack top scoring on 22. So Haley took 4 wickets in exchange of 7 for the Tigers, and Nigar Sultana's 34 helped them cruise home with 7 overs to spare. It was a day to remember for Bangladesh sports fans as the country's women football team clinched their maiden SAF Championship title by beating host Nepal in Kathmandu just hours before Nigar and company dominated proceedings in the 6-wicket win over Scotland at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium. The women cricketers congratulated the Sabina Khatun-led football team on the SAF triumph before playing Scotland. Before ending, we go to the headlines again. Myanmar is deliberately disrupting regional harmony to hinder Rohingya repatriation process, says Acting Foreign Secretary. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reached in New York, USA to attend the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The Cox's Bazar court sentences 7 suspended members of the detective branch to 7 years imprisonment. You're up to date so far here on SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.sattv.tv. Stay with SATV.